And they're back on the air here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker across America. And we're getting ready to do the Podbean here in just a little bit. And I hope you're enjoying the program wherever you're listening. I hope you're situated nicely. We have Ed Delgado, and we had, oh man, it was fabulous. Oh, it's been fabulous. The past hour or two of this program, we had Ed Delgado, the Caramel Conservative, in the chat room, along with BJ McNamara, otherwise known as Black Dragons Radio, has been in the our chat room over the past 2 hours. It's been absolutely fabulous. I hope they come back real soon, because I know chasing me is no fun, because I know what it's like on the other end. I'm going to have to take a break on the FM end and flip batteries, because the batteries are dying on my transmitter. So, yeah, because I'm starting to feel the effects of it in static over the FM dial. The lights went out on the frequency, so now that means that I'm going to have to flip batteries in here real quick. So I'm going to be doing that real quick. And while I'm doing that, here on Spreaker, you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back with more of the Gary Russen program, Freestyle Friday edition, after we take this short break. Stand by. Be right back.
You hear great jazz on GJRB with the best of jazz, up-and-coming jazz, and smooth afternoon. If you can't get enough of jazz and you live in the Quad Cities area, tune in to KALA, St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa, at 88.5 on the FM dial. Along with some of that great smooth jazz, you'll hear a lot of great jazz programming, and programming in other great music formats, like blues, urban, including rap, also classic R&B and Motown with David Baker on Rewind, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central. In addition, you get programming in Spanish and some great gospel programming too. For more information on that great programming you'll hear, check out their schedule at www.sau.edu/KALA. Even if you don't live in the Quad Cities area, you can enjoy KALA anywhere in the world with their internet stream. Connect with KALA. Listen and enjoy. Recently, the owner of Facebook had to face Congress over personal information on Facebook users. In addition, users were saying that their postings were being deleted. Getting sick and tired of your censorship and your data being used without your permission? Do something about it now. Come to MeWe, the internet social site that values your freedom. No more deleted postings. Make a step to freedom. Sign up today. It's easy. Go to www.MeWe.com. That's M-E-W-E. MeWe, the internet's free speech social site. Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them, help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor in a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help. There's a problem on our roads today, and that is the safety of our children boarding and getting off the bus on busy roads. That problem is drivers who don't stop for a school bus when the arm is out, the lights are flashing, and the stop sign is out, leaving kids in danger of getting hit. Violators of this law could get a suspension of their driver's license and a $250 fine. When you see a school bus stopped at a corner, letting off kids, stop 25 feet away from the bus. Don't take that chance. A public service announcement from the National Highway Safety Administration and GJRB Online. Now, GJRB presents the Gary Russen program, the original news talk program. Call Gary J. Russen right now on the Skype line at gary.russen, or contact him on the GJRB chat room by clicking the balloon icon on the GJRB Spreaker widget on the Spreaker public site and on Twitter. Now, the Gary Russen program.
And I'm back on the air here on GJRB Online as we continue the Gary Russen program here on Spreaker across America, and pretty soon on Podbean as we get things started on the last hour of our program. So we're going to make this kind of a brief segment, about 20 some odd minutes, and then we'll be flipping over and doing the final part on both Spreaker and Podbean. So we're going to get ready for that. Meanwhile, we're talking about what's going on in the news with this whole Trump impeachment inquiry. We're talking about yesterday's shooting, that horrid shooting that happened in Santa Clarita, California, just north of Los Angeles. Was it north of Los Angeles? I don't remember exactly where. But anyway, and we haven't done any weather yet. We're going to do weather on the fives here pretty soon. Let me see where Weather Nation is right now. They are doing a weather forecast right now, so I'm going to have to push it to where when they do it. But it looks like interesting weather down south. Let's go to Weather Nation and hear what they're talking about.
In Montgomery, back over along I-85 up to LaGrange, Georgia, near Auburn, Lee County. There in Alabama, or over to Wetumpka in Montgomery County, Autauga County as well. Some of the heavier rain at the moment. This is the upper level low pressure center, and you can still see it spinning even into the radar imagery right about there. It's just south of Montgomery to Troy. That's about halfway up into the atmosphere where we see that going on. And then the surface reflection is further off to the east. So all of this moisture that we're seeing here from South Carolina really back over into Alabama, all this is from an upper level series of low pressure centers that are away from the surface reflection, the surface low, which is out here over the open waters of the Atlantic, the mid-Atlantic. And that's why we're still throwing a lot of moisture back on shore. We have winds coming in out of the east, and they're going to continue to pound this surf. Anytime you have a perpendicular wind to the coast and it's hitting perpendicular, then you're just pounding that surf, and it's bringing sand inshore. When you have it going parallel to the beach, it's called longshore transport of sand that'll take place, and you can get rid of it really fast when it's parallel to the beaches. So we'll be watching both of those scenarios as we go along through the rest of the 48-hour period with the low pressure offshore there. This is going to weaken back to the west eventually. This will not. This will actually strengthen a little bit as we go through time into the rest of this evening and into the overnight hours tonight. A little bit of light snow to the north here, up in Season neck of the woods, northern Vermont, New Hampshire, up into Burlington. We have some snow squalls that are coming in here at the moment, and that's going to be some pretty heavy snowfall there for a while, just east of I-87. And a couple of other areas that we're looking at, actually not a whole lot going on, but back to the west, we had some light rain into northern Idaho, western Montana, western sections of Washington State as well, Steve. Seaside Heights into New Jersey. Not just yet, but it's coming.
It is, yeah. We have coastal flood watch that's in effect for portions of New Jersey that was just issued this afternoon, especially as we get into Sunday to Monday, the time frame of some of the worst of that coastal inundation of water. So out there right now, things are just fine, but that wind will start to pick up this weekend. And here's where we have some of the coastal flood watches in kind of the teal color that is right here through Toms River, Atlantic City, down to Dover. The coastal flood advisory that is in effect for the near term in Georgetown, and then the warning that is down into Newport News and Virginia Beach. So you can kind of watch this from the warning where we have it now, or at least through tomorrow and Sunday, down into southeast Virginia. Then as the whole system moves to the north, those higher water levels will continue to move up to the north and up the eastern seaboard. It could get moderate flooding in low-lying spots up to 2 feet of inundation at those areas highlighted with the colors. So here's the storm overall. It is off down to the south and east with the core of that low that is off the North Carolina coastline. And that's continuing to move closer to the coast, where it is going to continue to strengthen tonight. By tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern, it is really plaguing a lot of the Carolinas, a lot of heavy wind, some rain shower activity, even still some decent downpours all the way back to I-85, stretching into southeastern Georgia all the way through the Carolinas. The low gets pretty close to North Carolina tomorrow, but notice how it just doesn't move all that much. It's moving very slow, so heavy rain continues from Wilmington, Jacksonville, all the way up to Virginia Beach. And then through the course of Saturday night and Sunday morning, that backtracks a little bit down to the south and east but still is really strong. And we have a strong high pressure up to the north that is going to allow for some really gusty winds, upwards of 65 miles an hour, especially the Outer Banks, any exposed areas. Areas that you should watch for any flood potential closer to the Atlantic. So eastern North Carolina could be several inches of rain, an area that usually can handle it due to its nature and proximity to the Atlantic basin, but still nonetheless likely to get some nuisance flooding. So that's Sunday morning. As we go into Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, that continues to move parallel to the east coast. It is going to be close enough that you'll get windy conditions out on the Cape through the Gulf of Maine, and even some precipitation late Sunday, more so into Monday. So here's the low, spreading up some rain, maybe some wintry mix over interior New England and upstate New York with some colder air there, some freezing rain and even some snow possible. And then the low heads into the Canadian Maritimes by Monday night and Tuesday, but still is quite strong, so the winds will still be gusty out there. Here's the forecast accumulation. A little bit of light icing here, about 100th to a 10th of an inch of ice possible. Interior New England, a couple of inches of snow near the Canadian border, maybe even a couple of inches of rain down to the southeast near Cape Cod. So that's what's going on regarding that, but we also still are into hurricane season, apparently, Dave. We have a new named storm out there in the Pacific.
We do out in the Pacific. The Pacific can stay busier than the Atlantic this time of the year, and oftentimes does. And you can see there's an anticyclone aloft. This is helping this thing out quite a bit as a tropical storm in Raymond. Winds are at 50 miles per hour now, and it has 1,002 millibars, moving to the north-northwest at about 7 miles per hour. And where does it go? Well, this time of the year, it almost always goes off to the north and turns toward the Baja, actually, the southern Baja, Cabo. Yeah, maybe down there south of La Paz, and if it does so, it's going to bring quite a bit of moisture. We'll be watching what happens with that. Sometimes computer modeling doesn't tell you what's going to happen with moisture coming into the desert southwest and then moving northward, and this part of the season, so we'll be watching. The energy gets absorbed, yeah, that's almost a given there, and then moves on to the east. We're Weather Nation. We're going to have more on your weekend forecast coming up in a moment.
All right, there you go, Weather Nation. Bringing you weather on the fives. 25 and 45 minutes past the hour on all music shows, 25, 55 talk shows, and I'm going to be stopped staying at pretty soon because I think we're going to be doing 25, 55, except for a couple of shows where we'll do it any time of the hour that ends in 5, and it'll be some of my oldie shows and stuff like that when we get into the pub. We're about 16, let me see, what does it say on there? Okay, 4:48 Central Standard Time, 4:49, about 11 minutes before 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, about 12 minutes before we do Podbean, 12 minutes before Podbean, try it again, 12 minutes before Podbean, 12 minutes left to go, and we'll be going over there, and it's going to be fabulous. We get things started. I was just over there, I was just popping in there, and I went into their main page live, and I already have some followers. So I'm going to be welcoming in when I get over there. I got some followers already. Wow. Absolutely great start. So we're going to be doing that here in just a couple of minutes. So stay with me for that. We're gonna have a blast over there. We're gonna see what really goes on as we do this Podbean thing. Meanwhile, back in the jungle, let's get things ready for that. I'm going to continue talking about the other stuff that's going on. The California attack. I think I ran out of stories. Sony introducing a new Walkman for the 40th anniversary. I think this is pretty darn cool. By the way, next hour we'll also do our Clinton weather forecast, some national selected cities. But right now, the electronics maker Sony releasing a new version of the revolutionary portable music player, which was announced Friday, the IFA 2019, leading its annual Consumer Electronics Show in Berlin. First released in 1979, Sony's TPS-L2 Walkman was the first truly portable personal cassette player. Changed the way we listen to music. Sony has since then released its various iterations of its Walkman, and it's gone into an extra mile with this special 40th anniversary edition. The Sony NW100 TPS Walkman has 40th anniversary logo painted on it in the back, and it comes with a specially designed case packaged that way to pay homage to the original TPSL2 Walkman. And this is a unique cassette tape. This is unique, apparently. It also has a unique cassette tape interface for those who want to take a trip down memory lane. They also have a cheaper version of that without any 40th anniversary branding, and it's called the NWA 105 Walkman, according to the company. Powered by Android, this new Sony Walkman comes with a slew of features, including for audiophiles. Yeah, it also has an S meter, an HK digital amplifier to deliver high-resolution audio and reduce distortion, and a DSEE DC DSEE HX processor to upscale compressed audio, and even vinyl processor to help digital tracks of the character of vinyl. Absolutely incredible. Blows my mind. Also, a 26 hours of battery life, which is more than any smartphone can ever provide. And it's built for the future with a USB-C port for connections. And release date hasn't officially been announced. And while smartphones have largely replaced the need for the dedicated music players, such as the Sony Walkman, the product still has its fair share of dedicated users. And absolutely right, too, because, us baby boomers out there who remember the original Walkman radio would love to have this as a great memory piece. Really would. And Black Dragons is back with us. Righty. And he says, I'm still here, Gary. I can't wait to test out Podbean. Yeah, we're about 8 minutes left to go before we head into Podbean. I have the soundboard ready and poised at the 5 o'clock hour, and we're going to do the magic sign on and introduce GJRB to the Podbean. You know what? Haven't had this much excitement since I've done radio. Anyway, Podbean, believe it or not, BJ, I already have like 3 followers already come on. 3 followers already came on. Would you believe it? Isn't that wild or what? 3 followers so far has already come on. So this is going to get really good. Absolutely fabulous. If this is an indication of what's coming up, man. Ooh, yeah. Let's see what we got here. There's a tsunami warning. That was yesterday. I guess they had a real bad earthquake in Indonesia yesterday. 7.4 struck there. In the islands there, and they had a tsunami warning. Now, I don't know what came of this. This is from End Time Headlines. Tsunami warning after a 7.4 quake, which struck Maluku Islands in Indonesia. The alert was issued after a 7.4 quake struck there in the northwest corner of Indonesia's Makalu Islands. The tremor was measured at 83 miles or 134 kilometers from the port city of Ternate, and the depth of 30 miles, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The Indonesian authorities issued a tsunami alert following the quake, which hit roughly equidistant, whatever that means, from the islands of Sulawesi and Halmara, which I think they hit there once before. Although they said that the risk of any dangerous waves reaching this land is low, strong tremors have also been felt in Sulawesi, west of the epicenter. Indal Lankong, I'm butchering that, who lives in that port city of Bitong, don't pronounce that, Bitung, said the people had initially panicked, but, quote, the house was visibly shaking, and the quake was very strong and lasted for a while. And you could still feel tremors, but weaker. A woman in Tondano, North Sulawesi, tweeted that the earth was literally shaking so hard Indonesia's Metro TV said some people had fled higher ground there. And no immediate reports of any injuries or damage, but the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said the hazardous waves are possible within 186 miles of the epicenter. So, wow. Yeah. You get those foreign names like that, and you gotta wonder if I butcher it. I butcher names so bad when it comes to foreign names. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, we go back to the chat room, and BJ says, that's a great start so far. Wow, that's what I want to hear. And it sure will want. Okay, and it sure will. Let's try it again. It sure will wait till they hear the dragon. Yeah, and the awesome dragon and his awesome music. Gotta tell you, man, you pour out some good jams there, dude. I love a lot of those tunes. And of course, I get a lot of my new emerging artists from a site called SoundClick. SoundClick. And they are an emerging site, and I have new emerging artists in all genre music, from jazz to country to classic, oldies, Christian rock. I mean, and these are new emerging artists, and I talk to a lot of these artists on that site, and they love the fact that I'm playing their music. They are absolutely ecstatic that I play their songs, and they are really appreciative of me, plugging their music, and they really love it. And I thank them much for that. I'll tell you what we're going to do right now, though. I think I'm going to stay on here, and then I'm just going to launch right away here. In just about, let's see what we got now. It's 4:58 Central Standard Time, 4:58:47. So we're just about close to that minute left to go before the big major countdown. And I don't have any countdown music or anything like that but I would probably just do the time tone that I use at the top of the hour. And we'll start out and see what happens. This is going to get good, folks. Counting down now. We're just in about close to 45 seconds. 45 seconds before the big launch of Podbean. So we're going to get there right now. We're at 4:59:30. So I'm going to do a station identification right now. And you're listening to GJRB Online on Spreaker, KSPR LPFM. Our GJRB LPFM station actually today is KGRZ, Talk FM 108, our 9-foot closed-circuit signal on Clinton's North End. And this is GJRB Online on Spreaker. Here we go. Okay. For some reason, I'm hitting start and I'm not getting anything. Why is that? Okay, should be getting started. It's not starting. Why isn't it starting? Okay, this is not good. I was hoping we'd... Okay, tip. To get better sound quality, avoid echo, please use your mic headset to call-ins. Okay, I know that. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. We are now officially on the air. Okay there, boy? The dog's got a cold for some reason. He just keeps on coughing. We are now officially on the air on Podbean. It's 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. GJRB Online Network on Spreaker across America. Let's see here what we got to do. Let's see. Do we have our mic open here? Are we being heard or are we not being heard? Okay, let's see if we're being heard here. Listeners, do we have, where's my Where's my microphone button on this thing? Where are we even showing any modulation? Are we seeing modulation? Okay, we should be seeing modulation somewhere, right? On here. As I'm on the air, I'm already about 51 seconds in. Okay, okay, mic's on. So if there's anybody listening, welcome everyone. This is GJRB Online, and we are now on Podbean. GJRB Online is now on Podbean. We are live on the air right now. Total of 1 hour of live broadcast space right here on GJRB Online. Poor little dog. You okay there, boy? Yeah, what's the matter with the doggy? I think our dog has a cold, and he coughs an awful lot. Don't know exactly what's going on there. Black Dragon says, thank you, Gary. I'll be on Spreaker, but do most of my radio work on Podbean. I'm checking out the sound click like this. There's plenty of music for sure. Yeah, you better believe there is. They do have a great selection and a variety of music on there. Absolutely incredible. This is absolutely fabulous. I'm hoping that maybe we get some people on here. I'm going to share now on Facebook that I am now on Podbean. I'm going to click here and let's see here. Okay, GJRB. Now on Podbean. Come on in and see if you can hear me. I thought this would have a VU meter on here or something, so I know that I'm on the air. I'm not seeing. I really am not sure, so I'm hoping that maybe we get some responses here real quick. That's why I'm doing this. Join me live right now for the last hour. The last hour of the Gary Russen program. And let's see what happens here. As a matter of fact, I'm doing this, and I'm broadcasting in 2 places, so it seems to be working. Share this link to promote and invite users to join your live show. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of going to other places, but I'm starting off with let's see here. I'm going to let's see if I can. Why is this? Okay. I'm going to cut that out because it's too long for Twitter. Log in and tweet. Twitter, if you're not signed into Twitter, forget it. You have to sign in first. But I'm already on Facebook, so I'm going to just start with that and see where it comes into play here. Checking out some of the neat little effects here. They got some neat effects button. They have a booing. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that one. There's cheering. I like that better than Spreakers. Okay, and if I tell a stupid joke, a laugh track. Sounds like a sitcom. Okay, here we go. And let's see, do we have a whistle here? Does it play? Let me see, there's a whistle on here. Okay, that's cute. I like that. Yeah, this is great. And I'm hoping that there's somebody out there listening on Podbean and checking to see whether or not we're actually getting on. We are on the air live here on GJRB Online in the final hour of the Gary Russen program, Freestyle Friday edition. And I'm going to love this to pieces, and I'm going to make sure that we are hearing what is on the air here. I'm going to be checking on it every so often to make sure. But we are now in the 5 o'clock hour. Last hour, we are on Podbean. Freestyle Friday edition of the Gary Russen program will be here again tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time for the Gary Russen program Saturday Extra, both here on Spreaker and on Podbean, because we are simulcasting. We are on both right now. And, yeah, all right. This is wonderful, Gary. Welcome to the Podbean Podcaster website. Absolutely. Are you listening to me on there right now? Could you message me over there and let me know how I'm sounding? Because I'm not sure, whether or not I'm getting, if I'm, I'm being heard, if everything's really cool, kosher, because I was thinking there was going to be like a VU meter on here to show that I'm broadcasting. I'm not seeing that, and I'm hoping maybe I would see that there is modulation. I'm on the air, but I'm not sure whether or not I'm getting, I'm being heard. And I should have went into my Podbean on my phone, and I probably could have checked it. I never thought about doing that because I was thinking there was a VU meter on this thing. So just kind of like guessing right now at this point as to what's going on. All right. Hear about this one. Joel Osteen slammed for opening his church to Kanye West and not to hurricane victims. You hear about this one. Joel Osteen. And I used to like him. And it's not, that I don't. But he had at the beginning, I know better, but what our church sometimes calls prosperity preaching, which is what he kind of stands for a lot. And he invited Kanye West, and they have a little disclaimer saying the following views and expressions do not reflect the end time headlines. It says that Kanye West is continuing to stir up some controversy with his supposedly new sanctified life, and now folks are slamming him and the mega pastor Joel Osteen for an equally controversial arrangement, according to TMZ. West is set to visit Osteen's mega Lakewood church on Sunday. Source tells TMZ that West and Osteen have been talking on a regular basis recently, so much so that they became friends. Sources say that Kanye is expected to show up at Joel's 11 a.m. service in Houston on Sunday. West will make his way to the pulpit to have a conversation with Joel, and Joel Osteen expected to last between 20 and 30 minutes. And it's reported that Joel wants his congregation, which is really made up of a whopping 45,000 people in his TV audience, well over 10 million in the U.S. alone, to hear how West has overcome the substantial adversity in his life. Imagine that. And a source explained Kanye used used to be about nothing greater than himself. Now it's still about a higher power. Expected Joel will ask Kanye to compare his life in the past to his life now. The visit is already causing angry emotions, considering Osteen doesn't have the best reputation as a preacher, pastor, and has managed to accumulate a lot of wealth, including the massive mansion. They dislike him for his dislike for him has peaked since 2017, with social media starting to accuse him of not opening up to his church to Hurricane Harvey victims. Remember that? Eventually, Osteen responded to the accusations, telling CNN the church has always been open and we received shelter the victims' first day or two. So, again, I guess it's just your opinion on this one. Basically, I don't know if, whether or not he's sincere, but, I hear a lot of talk around my church anyway about the fact that Osteen, it's the big prosperity, speech. It's the big prosperity preaching. Can't find you over there. Can't find me over there? Let me check and see what I could do about that. I'm sure that there's... let me see here. I'm going to go over here. What's pod points? Oh my. Let me see. This is interesting to find out why I'm not being seen. I don't know. Let me see what I have here. I already have the share on this. Wouldn't it be where I have the show scheduled that wouldn't be on there? I'm going to go to my Podbean original page for a minute. I'm going to go to where I saved that underneath my other. Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to go to my Podbean scheduled program and see if it's there. It should be there. It's showing live. I don't know. Let me see here, and I gathered to say whether or not I can listen to it while I'm on live. Don't know where it is. It's showing live there. I think if you probably have to follow me, BJ, because I had 2 people already follow me. I got 3 actually when I welcome aboard. Thank you so much for following me. Let me see. It's my eyesight isn't the best. MTM3WS following me 3 hours ago. We have a Boss Chica, I'm pronouncing that right, 213 following me, and a Z3 Dino following me. So there's like 3 people following me already. So I don't know. That's a new one because, like I said before, I'm just new on this thing. So I don't know how I can see whether or not I'm on the air and I'm being heard. I don't know what to say. Can't find me over there. So I don't understand why I'm not being found. Let me see. Did you go to my Facebook page where I just posted that and see if it doesn't have a link to where I'm at and how you can listen to it while I'm on live? How do people listen to me live on Podbean? Okay. Let me see if I can find anything that shows that I am on the air or I'm being heard or something here. I'm going to go, let's see, owner, primary, let me see. I'm going to go to my podcast page. Okay, let's see here. Okay, it's into my email. Let me see. I'm going to go on my email, my page here. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to figure out how the heck it's shown on the air live. Okay, this is interesting. I'm going to ask the support people because I'm trying to figure out how's my show being heard on Podbean. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm going to be playing around with this now to find out where I'm being heard at. Let's see here. I don't know. It's just one episode. I don't know. I'm going to try to figure this one out. This is a new one on me. Like I said, I'm just brand new on this thing, so I don't know where you will find my show to be listened to while I'm on the air. Okay, that's a good one. I never thought about that. Floyd's Perspective, enter live auto. Sammy, enter live auto. And somebody else, enter live auto. Audio, studio, live studio. So we have some people in here entering live studio. But like I said before, your guess is as good as mine as to how you can listen to me on Podbean. I'm new to this now, folks. Okay, so there we go. Total of online 1, total of 4. Actually 3, 4. And I don't know where this is going here, folks. Let me see if we can find out. No background music yet, so I guess I could put something on there. I never thought about that. Anybody could, at least if they're listening to the broadcast, would call me on here. I don't know how that works, because I got the call-in line in there. You can put up to 4 people on here. Pretty wild. This is really cool. Like about 4 people can get on here at once. In other words, I could my Way Out There show, which I'm going to do one on Astro Travel. And if I do that, I'm probably going to do it here on Podbean, because I could probably get some really interesting people on here who would like to ask questions. Wouldn't that be a great show? Ooh. Yeah. Quoting Les Nessman. Ooh. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know. I really don't know. BJ. Your guess is as good as mine. Yes, I see no. Yes, I see no link. Oh man. I hope this isn't some kind of requirement before I go up here or something. I put in searches and nothing comes up. And it sees no link. But I have people suddenly showed up in the page there. So I don't know. Let me see if I can find. I want to go to my Facebook page for a minute. I'm going to take out some of these articles I'm done with right now. And I'm going to go into... let me see. I'm going to go to my Facebook page is what I want to do. Click out of this. And, okay, what the heck? If I'm on here live, how do people hear me? That's the question. Okay, I'm going to go through some other avenues here. It's showing, oh my. Okay. For some apparent reason, my, let's go back to that one page I had on before. Let's go to my main Podbean page I just was on before. I'm going to go flip back to that page. And it shows me live. Okay, and I thought if you click that live, it would take me somewhere. Actions. Share. That's all it shows there. Okay. Follow and like. Point. Okay, go mobile. I don't want that. So where in the heck do you hear the live podcast at? Anybody got a clue? Anybody? Okay, let's see here. 6 followers. Okay, so I got 6 followers. But I'm looking to see where the heck my program is. That's what I'm looking for, to see where the program stream is. Specifically. And I thought maybe I find it by going into the page here, and I can't seem to... Okay, so where in the heck is it? Okay, when I have to go into the view site. Okay, that was the page I decided to use for my template. But I would thought for sure that I would see something on that template regarding as to where I'm at as far as hearing my live stream. So that is a good question. I'm broadcasting live, but whether or not I'm being heard by a live audience, and how does BJ hear me? Okay, so this is a good one on it. I'm going to go on that. Let me see if I'm going to take a break here on Spreaker and flip over to the final part. So I'm going to be ending here in Spreaker in about 42 seconds. But I'm going to come back real quick. I'm going to go, let me see here. Okay, I'm going to go to the closing end part here. Okay, and I'm going to, whoops, why did I do that? Okay, I'm going to let that end, and I'm going to be right back. I'm taking a break on Spreaker and flipping over. People on Podbean can still hear me. This is the Gary Russen program on the GJRB online network here on Spreaker and Podbean. And I'll be right back in just a quick few seconds. This is GJR.